I tried wholesaling real estate for the last 5 years, and this is my honest review. The first year, I didn't close any deals. I was watching YouTube videos, I was listening to podcasts, I was reading books, I was doing all these things that I thought I was supposed to be doing, but in reality, I was just keeping myself busy and pretending like I was really working hard towards this. So that first year, I would say, was just studying and learning, which is important, but you have to take action. That's the difference between actually closing deals and not is taking action. Then the second year, I closed my first deal, and then I closed I think that year I closed maybe 4 deals. Third year, I closed like 12. And my fourth year, I closed maybe anywhere from 10 to 12 deals. And then my fifth year, which was 2023, I think I only did like 3 or 4 wholesale deals. It might have just been 3. I have to double check, and I'll add it to this once I look it up. But it wasn't many. This business is tough. Like, you can make a lot of money in wholesaling, but it's not easy. My experience has been, it's been a little different because that first year I couldn't do anything, but the second year when I got my first couple deals, I wanted to make money. I had to survive. I had to pay rent. I got bills to pay. So I got my real estate license, and then I started listing houses, helping people buy houses, and then I was able to do maybe 4 or 5 as an agent my first year, and then you add that with my wholesale stuff. I was doing pretty good. And then my third year, once I started doing more deals, I was doing 10 wholesale deals, and then I was doing 10, 12, traditional real estate deals like an agent. Then I was making pretty good money, and then I did my first flip then. And then my fourth year, I was able to do 10 wholesale deals, 10 traditional listings and helping buyers, roughly 10. And then I was able to do another flip. And then now last year, which is my fifth year, I slowed down on wholesaling. I did a couple things as an agent, and I did a couple deals as a wholesaler, just a couple. But what I was trying to ramp up for last year was my fix and flip business. I was able to get 3 or 4 flips done last year. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to push over from wholesaling to flipping, because I feel like wholesaling, you're on a hamster wheel. Every month you have to close more deals. Even if you have a great month, you have a $50,000 month, which I've done $50,000 month. But once the next month goes by, you have expenses, you have all these things you have to keep going. You got to keep feeding the business to make more money. It doesn't really matter how many deals you get in one month. You have to continue and keep going. So I felt like with the flips, if you do one flip and you do pretty good on it, you don't have to get another flip the next month. You could kind of chill and move at a different pace, because the spreads are a lot different on flips. So I thought that was the way to go. And as you can see, I have shiny object syndrome, where I just go to the next and the next and the next thing. I was basically getting these deals with no overhead. I was doing a lot of networking. I was cold calling. I was doing everything that was free marketing. And then the market was a little different. A couple years ago, it was much easier to get deals. Now everything's tightening up, and then more wholesalers, more people in the business, so it's a little more difficult, but it's still possible. You could do it. I haven't met any millionaire wholesalers. Everyone I know that wholesales and makes a lot of money, they have rentals, they do a lot of flips, they're top agents, they do other things. And now I don't know if that's a market thing, because maybe where I live, there's not that many houses where you could make a full-time just wholesaling. I believe Florida, Texas, those are places where you could probably pull off just wholesaling. But in my market, I don't know anyone that just wholesales and makes $1 million every single year. Just for that reason, I was a little discouraged, but I feel like wholesaling is the easiest way to get into real estate if you're brand new. But then I feel like it becomes you're back in the rat race, because if you don't close another deal, then you have the stress and anxiety and the pressure of just keep going and going and going. And you got expenses. Once you start hiring people, you have systems you're using. You have, it adds up. So I know that on social media, YouTube, Instagram, and all these places, you see people and they're pretending they're killing it. But I know a lot of wholesalers right now, their business has slowed down as well. And even flippers, their business has slowed down too, because interest rates and everything that's been going on. It's harder to close deals right now, and it was harder to sell deals. Now interest rates are coming back down, so I think we're gonna adjust. A lot of people left the wholesaling business 2023. A lot of real estate agents left the business in 2023 because it was so tough. A lot of people got in after COVID because houses were just selling over asking 30, 40, 50,000. So anybody could just get a license, know someone that wants to sell, and then boom, you sell the house. So it was much easier. But now, as interest rates tighten up, now it's really up to you to find the people that want to sell, find the buyers, really negotiate these deals. I got a deal right now as an agent that's been under contract for 3-4 months, and it's been insane dealing with appraisers. So just dealing with everything. So these deals is not as easy. But my honest opinion on this is that you can make a lot of money. And if you're in a big market, you probably could make a crazy amount of money just wholesaling. And again, I think you can make $100,000 a year just wholesaling, probably in any market. I think that's possible. But once you make $100,000, you're gonna see that you need to make more. In order to make that money, you have overhead, you have costs to making that money. So it's just, you have to make more money. And I know it sounds crazy because I've always wanted to make $100,000 a year. That's always been my goal, $100,000 a year. And then once you finally make $100,000 a year, you see that you're pretty much middle class, a little above middle class. And you could probably take a couple extra vacations and do a couple extra things. But at the end of the day, you got to get right back to work. But if you're trying to scale, and I think that's the reason why a lot of people in real estate, they try to scale and make more money, is because they want the freedom that was sold when we got into this. But the freedom, the joke is that people come into real estate for freedom, but then they lose all their time, they lose all their freedom, just because this is a hustle. It's a full-time hustle. You have to work in order to keep the ball rolling and keep making money. But another thing too that I want to mention is another way to counteract that is buy rentals. A lot of the people that mentored me when I first started, that wholesaled a lot of properties, they bought a lot of properties. They bought apartment buildings, and now they're not in that constant hustle trying to get the next deal, because the rents carry them, carry their lifestyle, carry their business. So my goal is to get into rentals. And that's the reason why I'm making a lot of these videos, to keep myself accountable, because I want to get to the next step. And the next step for me is buying rentals, pushing my fix and flip business, specializing in only apartment buildings as an agent, and then try to get as many wholesale deals as I possibly can. That way I can keep feeding the business. But the other thing too is, even these wholesale deals, instead of selling it to a cash buyer, I am the cash buyer. So if I find a deal, I'll just flip them. And then if it doesn't fit my criteria, or maybe it's too far for me or my contractors, then I'll wholesale it. But I'm gonna take wholesaling serious 2024, and I'm gonna attempt a strategy that I'm gonna talk about more on my channel. But I gotta test it out first to see if it works. But I'm gonna do wholesaling a little different, and I'm gonna try to make some money on it. But so my honest opinion on wholesaling is you're still able to do it. You can make a lot of money, but because it's so easy to get into, the competition is crazy, and then you have to negotiate these deals with the seller. But the great thing about wholesaling is you're building a foundation. Once you know how to wholesale, once you know the prices of the property, ARV, you start understanding repair costs, and you know how to close these deals, then the sky's the limit, because now you could buy the properties, you could buy the rentals, you could buy the properties, you could fix and flip them, and then you could start making money. I think the foundation is wholesaling. Wholesaling teaches you how to find a deal, how to analyze the deal, how to close the deal. And then you just push it over to the next strategy, because wholesaling to me is just a strategy. It's how to sell, a piece of paper and get paid quickly. Fix and flip is just a different strategy as well. But you need that foundation, how to get the deal, and then you do that. How to get the deal, lock it up, and then close on it. So wholesaling is the foundation. So I believe that wholesaling is the way to go if you're starting out. What I have to focus on now for this year is I do want to do wholesale deals. I only want to help people buy or sell apartment buildings, and then I want to maximize flips. I want to get at least 10 flips done for 2024. But I want to wholesale as well. Sometimes the deal's too tight for me, and if I could sell it without buying and going through the hassle, then I want to do that as well. So this year I'm gonna take wholesaling super serious. My listing business, as my agent business, I'm going to try to solely focus on multifamily and apartment buildings. I just want to help people sell apartment buildings. Just because if I sell one like multi-million-dollar apartment building, I can make anywhere from 20 to 40 grand. So to be every single month, and I could carry myself, pay my bills, and I could keep going. So I feel like that's the direction I want to go as an agent. I've been wholesaling. It's just been me. I've been literally doing everything, and that's not the way to go. One piece of advice I could give you is make a team, partner up with someone, hire people. The only way to actually grow in this business is to create a real business. I know a lot of people they're just themselves, and they wholesale, and they make all the money, they keep all the money. But I learned my lesson, and now I'm actually hiring people. I got a guy. I have a partner. We're really now that I have a team. I want to grow that team in order to get more deals and keep this thing going. My honest opinion on it, because a lot of people just lie and they're killing it, and then they're trying to sell you a course on it, teaching you how to do it. But most of these people that do these courses, they make more money off the courses than they do actually wholesaling. Because the process is so easy to explain that you can make a video on it and then sell that video and then go in depth in the video and teach people how to do it and make money that way. But the reason why people make those videos and those courses and mentorship is because ultimately this business is tough. And finding someone to pay you a couple $100 for some information that might change their lives, I think that's easy. I think if I were to create a course, I'll get rich quick. Just because it's not hard. It's just marketing. It's just going after the masses. But that's not what I want to do. I want to do the opposite and try to actually provide value. And then not only that, I don't want to come off like I'm teaching or I'm trying to show you this is how you do it. I'm just documenting like what I'm doing and what's working for me and what's not working for me. But back to wholesaling. I'm going to scale 2024, and I'm going to try to get as many deals as I can, and I'm going to treat this like an actual business. So if you're starting out and you're brand new and you haven't wholesaled anything, you haven't closed your first deal, keep at it, because it is worth it, and it is a good thing to learn how to close these deals. And then maybe you pivot, or maybe you just wholesale and that's all you do, and you make millions of dollars just wholesaling. If you do, let me know, because this shit is hard.